Alright, let's pop out the chat. Got that up, that down. Custom, you made some custom. Just trying to make sure that everything is up real quick. There we go. Just trying to make sure that alright, everything looks good. Alright. So who's all in here? Shorkoth, Metal. I see you guys in here. I put a post in the dad group. I'm gonna double check. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. My sound randomly turned on myself. I got some likes. I didn't get any messages. Alright. Let's see. Is anybody in here who hasn't gone through the training thing? Because I don't want to get started if no one's in here yet. Pretty sure I've gone through it with Shorkoth. Pretty sure I've gone through it with... I'm sure Metal sat through it. Thanks, Scrub. I don't know when you got that in. 16 minutes ago. Thank you for the follow. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna get started, and anyone who is not in here can re-watch this tomorrow if you get in late, but I can always just pass this link on to people, say check this out if they weren't here. Let me fix this real quick. Wrong way. Alright, so first thing is what you could be doing wrong. I've quizzed a few people on this. I've had diamonds tell me that they got like 6 or 5 out of 7. I've had champs tell me they got 4 out of 7. So it's not really an even spread as to rank, but yeah, there's a few things you need to take an active interest in when you're taking your shots. So if I go to this first one, I made this training pack. If I try to shoot this ball and I just drive at it, there's not a whole lot I can do to get this in. If I'm just staying on the ground trying to take my shot and hit it, it's gonna hit the backboard almost every time. Same thing with this ball. A lot of people will, there'll be an open net and they'll be super pumped and they're just gonna try and go take a shot, and they don't understand why it's popping up and hitting the backboard. And so what you need to do is realize that where you hit the ball is really important. If you think about this as, the ball's obviously bigger than your car, and if you hit anything at a low point, it's going to pop up. And it does it even more when it's rolling towards you. When the ball rolls towards you, it is going to pop up every single time. The only way to counter that is to do a jump and hit it at a higher point on the ball. So if I jump and hit it at the center, it pops right back towards where it came from. If I jump and hit too high, it'll stay down, but it loses a little bit of its power, because most of that power went down into the ground when I hit it at the top of it. As opposed to if I hit it dead center, if I hit it center, I keep most of that power. Right? If you hit it low, this is good for setting up passes and good for setting up like backboard double touches, but it's whenever you're point blank with the goal and you keep missing, this might be one of the reasons why, is because you're not really paying attention to the ball rolling towards you or coming at you quickly, and it just keeps popping up. But if we take that out of the equation on this shot, there are 2 things that go into every single shot. I don't care if you're GC or bronze. A lot of people may do this unconsciously, but if you take an active interest in your shots, that's what's going to put you above the other people in the game. You need to be aware of everything that goes into your shots. So if I drive at this ball, like we can see this ball's speed, it's moving like pretty lazily, but not crawling. If I just drive at it and go to touch it, then it's going to go to the other corner of the arena. If I'm not going super fast, I'm not going super slow, but it's just going to go to the other corner. And that's because if you think of the front of the car as like a flat surface, it's essentially just bouncing off of a flat wall, right? So the angle that it's coming at me with is the same angle it's going to leave me with, right? So that's what happens when there's no power added to it. It's just the angle. If I want to change that, let's say I don't put any power in my shot, I actually have to point my car back where it came from more than where the ball's going, where I want it to go. So the angle that you need to think about is where the ball's coming from and where you want it to go, right? So if you're hitting it with very little power, you need a sharper angle towards where it's coming from. If you're hitting it with more power, like let's say I'm doing the same thing. If I hit it with more power, sorry, it's really cold in my basement. If you're hitting it with more power, what you need to do is hit it with more of an angle towards where you want it to go. So I'm gonna just plow that. I'm gonna just plow this thing and just jump right into it. And you see, I just point it where I want it to go, and I don't really have to change the angle too much from where I'm driving. Right? So with more power, if the ball's going 20 miles an hour and I'm hitting it at 100, it's going to make a much bigger change than if I'm going 10 miles an hour and the ball's going 100. Right? So it's a little bit of math, but once you get the hang of it, it's becomes like a second nature. So power and angle, the angle of the ball, where it's coming from, where you want it to go, and then the power that you're putting into the ball are what are going to affect your shots more than almost anything else. Again, this is a big mistake that people make, is they're hitting it at too low of a point. All you need to do is a jump, right? The more dodges that you do, the more mistakes that you can have, right? So I could accidentally do this, or I could do that. Once, I would say, get rid of your dodges unless it's a clear. If you're clearing a shot, the more power you have, the better. But I would say get rid of your dodges unless you're comfortable with the shot without the dodge, right? So if I can hit this 5 out of 10, if I can hit this like 7 times out of 10, then you can start adding in the dodges and start getting this timing down, right? Because now you're adding in an extra variable, the timing that you do your flip. So a lot of people are just like, oh, look how much power I can get out of this, but what you're doing is adding in so many more variables that you don't need to concern yourself with at the lower ranks. So we talked about where to hit the ball, right? Because if I go up here and I hit the top of the ball, it's gonna drop down. I mean, it's not drastic, but it does drop down, right? So you don't only need to be careful of like hitting the bottom, but also if you hit the top, that can be a useful shot. Or if you're not getting the power out of your shots and it just keeps rolling along the ground, it could be because you're hitting the top of the ball in like this scenario, right? If I just hit the top of the ball, I don't really get a lot of power out of it. So what you want to do in this scenario is hit either the center, or for a big clear, hit the bottom, right? So that's something that you need to keep in mind, is where you want to hit the ball in what situation. So we talked about where to hit the ball. We talked about power and angle. So this is one more thing that you could be doing wrong, and that is at what time you hit the ball. Because whenever you have a bouncing ball, the down and upwards speed of the ball go into your shot. So this ball is a pretty high bounce, but if I hit it after the bounce, it's very unlikely that it's going to go in. It's going to hit the backboard more than not. So I'm going to go, and I hit it high. Yeah. So if I go here and I hit it on the upwards bounce, right? Let's say I just got there. Then I'm hitting the backboard every time. Unless you get above the ball, then you might be able to get it. But if you're just going and trying to get a quick hit and you're not really paying attention, then you're going to hit the backboard on that upwards bounce. So whenever you're actually close to the net, more than likely you want to hit it on the way down, right? Because this downwards motion is going to keep the ball from popping up. But if I hit it on the way up, that's what's going to happen 90% of the time. And it could be nothing else you're doing wrong than just when you're getting the touch. If you just jump above it and hit it, you have better chance of getting it in. But even with that low of a hit, it still popped up. What's up, Scoot? So when you hit the ball is really important, because for this clearing shot, if I hit it on the way down, there could be a guy out here in midfield and I'm just passing him the ball, right? So what you want to do is wait until the ball bounces and then get a big flip shot and clear. And that just set up my teammate for a shot and got it past the first two people. So first man, second man could be in here deep trying to fight for this. I just wait, take my time, and get this big shot past those two, and now it's a one-on-one, right? And if you can get these on net, these big clearing shots, then you're getting it past the front two people, and if that goalie happened to be going for boost thinking that he was safe, then you're getting an easy goal. And that's what's going to get the get you out of like plat and diamond and those ranks, is getting the ball on net or close to for a quick follow-up, right? Let me double check my document real quick, make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, so I talked about when to hit the ball. You know, if you're close to the net on the way down, if you're far away on the way up, more than likely. I talked about the speed, the angle. I talked about where to hit the ball. So there's only two. I talked about dodge hitting, which is the flips. Be very careful, because the more that you flip, the more chances it could hit your hood, it could hit your tires, it could, you know, there's so many more things that could happen. And you're not building that consistency with the dodges at the lower ranks, you know. You're not guaranteeing that, you know, you got it to the angle that you wanted. It's kind of like a luck of the draw thing. So I already talked about the rolling a little bit, but I'm going to touch on it a little more, and then what part of the car to hit with. So this ball right here, it's going to be very difficult for me to get up here and hit it with the front bumper in the middle of a game, because I have to get up so high to hit it. And I could, you know, if you're comfortable, you could do the air roll and like turn your car around, but even then it's still really hard to get up that high, right? A lot of times you'll see the tooltip that says the tires are hit softer than any other part of the car, and you might be doing flips and not understanding, you know, why you're not getting your hard hit, right? So maybe you go to hit like this, and it doesn't really do that front flip power shot you were expecting. And that's because whenever you went to go and do your shot, what you actually hit with was the tires, right? But there is a use for hitting with the tires. If I go up here and hit with the tires, it actually creates a much softer hit, and so it kind of causes the ball to kind of drop very gently, but I can get it over the defender who is sitting right here, right? So what this allows me to do is redirect it over the person who was expecting an easy save, or get it to a better position without slamming it off the backboard. Because if I go up like this and I just power hit this, then, well, that was actually a good hit, but if I do this, then what's gonna happen? Now it's not doing it. That's what I want. Here we go. If I bounce it off the backboard, then I'm giving them a 3v2, right? Because I'm out of commission for a little while. And so while it hits off the backboard, maybe one of my teammates was ready, but you know, if they were in a better position, then now it's a 3v2, if not 3v1. So sometimes hitting with the tire is the best answer, or maybe it's what you're doing wrong if you're not getting that power you're expecting. So that's something to pay attention to as you're playing. So spinning and rolling, we talked about that whenever I went over this. If it's rolling towards you, it's gonna pop up no matter what. But if I hit it on the back end, right? So let me go to this one. This one's still rolling towards me. If I hit it here, it's gonna pop up over anyone who is challenging me. But if I hit it over on the back end, then it doesn't really pop up that much because I'm not fighting against that momentum, right? So hitting it on the back where it's actually rolling doesn't cause it to pop up like it does when you do this. So if you're not getting those big, powerful, high clears, then it could be because the ball just wasn't rolling the right way, or you can also just hit it off the side, like it'll give it a little bit of a pop, nowhere near as much. But if you're trying to get it over someone and you're fighting this way, then you can get a little more of a pop on the side. My headset just turned off for no reason. But the other thing I wanted to touch on is dribbling. So okay, I thought I had a missed message, but let me make sure no one's messaging me in the stream. Okay, we're good. Alright, so super basic dribbling skills are going to get you a long way, right? So I don't need you guys to dribble with the ball on your head or anything. I just need you to be able to control the ball over to a boost pad, because if I'm sitting in goal and I only have like 20 boosts, I don't have a lot of options here. Maybe my teammate just got, you know, bumped all the way over onto their side, and it's kind of like a 1-on-2 right now. What I don't want to do is just pass this back to them and let them get another shot on me while my teammate is still on his way back. So the best solution to this is to always clear the ball to the sides. And now I get boost, I get possession of the ball still, and now I can follow up with any sort of shots or plays that I can do. But if all I do is just hit this ball back to them, then I'm just saying, I don't want this right now, you can play with it, right? But if I can just get this to a corner, now I have a lot better chances. I have my teammate probably rotating behind me, and I can continue on with the play, right? So that's something that you can do in free play, or you can practice dribbling in a workshop. There's all sorts of tools you can use, but let me see. I think there was only... Oh. This shot right here. This shot represents the big booming shot from this, right? So let's say I just got a big boom clearing shot on goal. This is what it looks like from the other side if it was a little different. So I'm the defender here, and my two teammates are deep in there fighting for the ball. They get a big, huge, lucky clear, and now I'm in a bad situation where I can't go up the wall and defend that, so I have to defend it down here. So I'm sure you guys know what shadow defending is. If not, that's what it's called. You just need to be able to drive towards the camera when ball cam is on, and be able to catch it or be able to redirect it. Right? And then we go right back to that being able to dribble to a boost pad and follow up. So I'm just trying to buy time for my teammates to get back, right? I need to catch this, and I'll try and go back to the other boost pad now. I need to be able to catch it and go to the boost pads. Now I can get my boost, I can take my shot and follow up with my teammates. But what you can't do is go up here and try and, you know, So you can certainly try, but look how long I'm dead in the air, right? I'm basically making it a 3v2, if I'm lucky, until I land again. So, it becomes very important to be able to defend back here like this, get your boost, and then push out with your next play. There are training packs that you can use. There's a lot of good ones out there. They're all on like the main browse page, but we can definitely go through them. But yeah, this is yeah. I mean, I made this pack, so it's not that great, but yeah, you can certainly try and, you know, go for this if your teammates are back, right? If you know that a teammate is rotating back, then you can definitely challenge this ball. But if you're the last man, you don't want to put yourself in that situation where now it's a 3v nothing. So, I think that pretty much covers it for what you could be doing wrong, like based on shots on the with the ball. Yeah. But uncomfortable saves is a good one. I'll do like 2 or 3 from here, but it's basically like what we just talked about with the shadow defending, where you have to drive towards the camera and make your save. It kind of forces you to into uncomfortable positions where maybe you thought you had a shot and then the enemy gets a big clear on you. If you find yourself getting scored on in a lot of these situations where you have to rush back to goal, this is definitely one I would recommend. Also, it's on this main page here. Uncomfortable saves is on the main training browser. Why you suck shadow defense is very similar. It might even be a little easier, I'd say. This one is probably easier if uncomfortable saves is too tough. This one is kind of a little gentler on the shots. But that'll definitely be a challenge to anyone who is probably under plat, I would say. Plats might have some decent mechanics on there, but the next one would be the ultimate warm-up. It's the 4th one down on the training browser. I do this all the time for my warm-up. The way I do it though is I consider everything a one-touch shot. If you are, you know, bronze, silver, or gold, I do not expect you to do this. But for those who are like diamond, this is what really helped me get out of diamond, was just making sure that my shots were consistent and that I could make good shots out of bad passes, right? So maybe this is just a bad clear from the other team, or maybe it was just a bad 50, and being able to, you know, capitalize on that is key. So yeah, I just go through this and make sure that every shot that I put on net, until I get one that I'm confident would go past someone, goes in net. I don't move on to the next one. Like that one, this one would get past someone if they were out of position. Like let's say they were going for corner boost and, you know, I did that shot unexpectedly, that would get past someone. Or if they double committed, or, you know, someone was out of position. So it doesn't have to be a boomer on every shot, but just do it until you're comfortable with it, and then try and get a better shot, you know, the next time you do it. This one is, I'm not really sure why this one is in here, but yeah, like this one should be a one shot. And if by doing it until you get it in, you're building muscle memory, right? You're building the muscle memory to get up to that ball, touch that shot, and make sure you're getting better. If I was to just do this, go here, you're not really building any muscle memory. You're actually fighting your progress. I mean, maybe if you were a pro and you already had like muscle memory on the controller, just in general how to do stuff, but for those of us who don't play, 20 hours a day, you need to have that consistency down. But, so I go through all 50 of these, usually before I do any ranked or any tournament stuff. I make sure I go through this one time. I make sure that all these go in net. I'm not real happy, but if there's one that you have a question on, then yeah, you can just post it and I'll hit touch base with you. Some of these, like this one, number 14, is not really a shot, it's more of a dribble. So this goes back to the being able to dribble to a boost pad. I would say if you're like plat or below, just get it to a boost pad, right? Get it to either that one or get it to this one over here, and that way you would be able to turn around and fight. But if you're diamond, try and challenge yourself to get it back to the goal. Right? This one, 15, teaches you a delayed flip, right? So you have a second and a half before your second jump dodge actually goes away. So I can jump, boost for a second and a half, and then flip. And by doing that, I'm getting a much stronger clearing shot than if I was to just do a double jump. Or I can't even hit it if I do an instant flip, right? So by doing that delayed flip, I'm getting a much bigger clear shot. And if you get it on net, you can get it past the two people fighting for it, and then the goalie who might have been out of position, right? So this one I use as a double touch. It's very hard to get in net first try. It's not going to be going very fast, so I usually use it as either dribbling or, one touch, two touch. One touch. Right? So that gets you past the defender, and these ones I use as shots. All these. The only ones I don't... This one is a good... I actually stole this clearing shot in my training pack that I made. This is the big clear shot that I stole because I really liked it. But being able to put this on net or close to, right? Now my teammates have another chance for a shot to follow up. But that's a good one. These are the ones that someone had a question on. I think it was, if I remember right, who was it? I was just playing with them. Shorkoth. I was going to say Sharpie, but it was Shorkoth. These are air dribbles. So you got to just get underneath and then air dribble. Obviously not expected at plat or even diamond, I would say. Like D3 is where you would probably start to work on this stuff. Hang on, someone just messaged me about trouble with my Twitch. He said he was trying to message me, but it would come on. Refresh chat. Alright, so this is the ultimate warm-up. is what this is called. It's the fourth one down on the browser page, and it has a lot of stuff. Is everything good on my stream for those of you who are in it? Okay. Yeah, if chat's being weird, you guys can message me. I'm not getting any messages from anyone, so... But, so yeah, anyways, this is the ultimate warm-up. I use it for... It has like 50 shots in it. All fairly realistic, or at least good practice. Like, no, there's not a whole lot of chances of a ball popping up like this, but it's good practice for, you know, let's say there's a 50 and your teammate gets a little pop on it. Then you can, you know, do some air dribbling off of it. I'm not going to go through all these, but this one just teaches you to set up an air dribble, and you go off of there. Yeah. Obviously air dribbles I need to work on some, but I've been working on 6-mans and shit for so long. But you don't really see air dribbles too much in Diamond or Champ. Like, I saw some of it, but it was mostly, I would say, probably Smurfs, just because you don't really get that much of a chance to set them up, right? People are moving too quick, and people know how to challenge for air dribbles, so you're not going to have that much time to drive across the field and set it up. But if you can start doing like double touches or stuff like that, or if you can even just go through this and just get a wall jump and try and get like a shot on net, you know, at least that is like a pass to your teammate, right? Like, that's a pretty decent pass, so it can teach you to work on some of your wall stuff. That's just an air dribble. This is some advanced stuff, but you can still use this as a shot on net with the tires, or you can go up, try and get up high and hit with the front bumper. But this is supposed to be backboard double touches, is what these could be used for. So that's pretty advanced stuff. I wouldn't even worry about that until Champ. But basically, the first touch pushes it to the backboard, second touch pushes it into net. But I mean, this is stuff I'm working on. Like, I am not confident in any of my backboard double touches, but that's what all these are. But you can still use them as shots on net. Okay, maybe someone had a bad 50, bounced off the wall, you get a touch. Even if it doesn't go in net, you're setting up your teammates, right? But your end goal should be your immediate thing should be just touch the ball, right? So get up there, try and touch the ball, and then once you're competent in touching it, then start worrying about, you know, getting it on net. This one is a little wild, but These ones, this one isn't that, that's not what I was looking for. These ones are really hard. They're doable. If you use your tires, they're doable. They're just very hard because you have to go really fast. And one thing people don't realize is you drive faster on the ground than you go in the air. If I jump and then try and speed up, I'll never catch that ball. If I jump and try and boost the whole time, I'm not catching that ball. But if I boost on the ground and then try and jump, I actually went further. Like, I can easily beat this ball to the wall. Right? So it's, if you're not being able to make your shots, you might be jumping too soon, or if you find yourself going past a ball, right? Maybe you find yourself out here and now I'm way too far. You might be on the ground too long, right? Or you might just have to slow yourself down. It's all just trial and error, right? I don't know what you guys are doing wrong. I can only just show you what it could be, right? This one is just like a redirect. I mean, here's what a lot of people do though, right? They'll go for a ball and they'll start driving forward, and now it's far too high for me to get even a full boost. I can't get up to it because I started moving forwards, right? If you watch my car, I'm moving forwards and then I'm trying to get in the air, and I have too much forward momentum. If you find yourself like swinging underneath of balls that you should have met, it could be just because you didn't jump up from where you started and then fly to it, right? So if I just don't have any forward momentum, then I can easily reach this ball. Because I'm not shortening the distance, right? If I shorten the distance to a ball that's moving really quickly, then I'm taking away time I could be climbing up in the air. There we go. But yeah, these are all just shots again. This one I used to use to explain power and angle. If I match the speed and power and angle, then the ball should go straight to the wall, right? I should be able to get the ball to go right down the line almost. Right, like that. It's going down the line. It's not on the line, but it's going down along the line. As long as you match speed and angle, then you're basically forcing it to go down that line. But if I go faster, then I actually have to I have to turn my car really quickly. Hang on. Yeah, even that is really hard, you know. I put more power into it, but I had to turn my car a lot more to get to it. And if I don't put any power into it, I almost need to like point my car at where it came from. So I'm literally almost pointing where it came from in order to get it to go in. Right? So, the rest of these are just shots, but so I highly recommend that pack. If you feel like your wall game is off, I don't really use this pack, but you know, a lot of people say that their wall game is off. This could be good. I think this is challenging though. Let me get in. I mean, this might, you know, I wouldn't say that this is, I would say this is probably like diamond, maybe high plat stuff to worry about, but It's just basically teaching you how the ball comes off the wall, right? So different angles, different speeds. You know, you might have to jump out off the wall. Something to look into if you need to improve that. Ground shots is another good one. This was Metal Division's recommendation. It basically teaches you that whole power and speed thing, right? And it gives you different angles, different distances, and kind of forces you to go after some hard ones. They do get harder as you go, but so that might be one to try out if you feel like your shots aren't, or if you're missing too many shots. Why you suck, I already mentioned that. That's pretty much it. Uncomfortable saves, why you suck, shadow defense, ultimate warm-up, wall shots if you feel like your wall shots aren't on, but I wouldn't even worry about that until diamond. Ground shots, I would start, you know, maybe getting into that a little bit, if you're not confident in your shots. A lot of these other ones are for like champs, like some of these redirects like Cherry Picker and Redirect are more advanced because you're not gonna have anyone sitting up in the front waiting for a pass, and that's kind of what these are based around. You're not gonna be getting passes in Diamond. It's just no one's gonna be in that deep. So I think that's pretty much it for training packs, but we can do real quick go over workshop stuff. So the order that I give this out is just like Rings 2 is where everyone should start if you're not comfortable with aerial and you're not I would say like low plats should start here. If you're comfortable in the air, then go on to Trials 1 or Speed Rings 3, right? And basically, it's just go through the rings and try to get a good time. So if you go outside of a ring, then you have to restart from the last checkpoint. So the objective is just fly through the rings, get to the next island, fly through the rings, get to the next. But if I miss this ring, then it's gonna put me back on the island, right? So you have to just kind of go and work your way through the levels. I'm assuming there's like 10 or 12, I think. They're not too tough on Rings 2. On Rings 3, they get pretty tough. But Rings 2, once you're comfortable with that, Rings 3 or Speed Jump Trials 1. Once you've done those and gotten through them, then I would say do Speed Jump Boost. And the reason why is because Speed Jump Boost could be somewhat like demoralizing because it's very difficult. For those of you who like a challenge, by all means, but for those of you who just want to get better and are already frustrated, I would not recommend starting here. But basically, you get these boost pads. You have to go and hang on. You have to go to options and turn off your unlimited boost in free play. And then you only get a limited amount of boost, unlike the rings maps where you have unlimited. And then you have to get from one platform to the next, and then you have to get to the ball and touch the ball. And then it just gets harder from here. And these rings give you boost, but they only give you a limited amount of boost, and if you run out, then you have to restart from the beginning. So it forces you to learn momentum control on your car, because if you use too much boost and you lose your momentum, then you don't have the unlimited boost to recover from it. but boost management becomes very important later in the game because if you make a mistake using your boost and have to go back and get boost, then you're making it a 3v2 for the other team, and they're gonna capitalize on that. So it gets harder. This is easy. Then once you get through all of easy, then it goes on to medium and hard. I still haven't finished hard. I haven't sat down and put my time into it because it took me half an hour to get through one of the hard levels, and it's just brutal. So I'm gonna have to sit down and spend like a night and try and get through it. But Rings 2, then once you get through that, Rings 3 and Trials 1, and then try that boost one. You can do that as you're doing the other two, but just remember it's a very difficult map. The other thing I would recommend is Dribble 2 Overhaul. It is gonna help you out a lot on, dribbling. To dribble, basically just turn off ball cam and do not boost when you take this shot, right? Because it'll fall through the floor. If you boost and try and do this, it becomes a lot harder. I don't know why my headset keeps turning off, but if you boost and hit it, it becomes very difficult to try and catch up to. So if you just do a light touch and then boost under it, you can get under it pretty easily, and then just learning to let go of the triggers to slow down instead of slamming on brakes, because if I slam on the brakes, I'm not going to be able to keep up with it. But if I just keep going and then I let go of the triggers periodically to kind of slow down, that's how you want to maintain control over a dribble, is just letting go. So if you can get through this map, and if you can get through it, I would say past this level, if you can get past 4, then you will be far better off to be able to control the ball to boost pads and stuff. But the 5th one right here is difficult. You're basically making a U-turn, which you're not going to really be doing in a game. And after this, it just gets harder from here, and it gets unnecessarily hard. So I would say focus on like the first 4. And if you can do that, then you can just do it periodically in free play. Those are the only workshop stuff I would recommend. There's probably others I need to start digging into, but for those of you who are on console, the alternative stuff, where is it at? If I go to free play and I go to, there's a map called Pillars right here. You're going to want to go into this map. This map is going to be the best thing for you guys for air control. Even those of you who have PC, if you're not comfortable with your air control, the way to start off is to just circle the ball, right? So once you're able to just kind of feather your boost and keep a good elevation, then I want you to start like rotating around the ball with ball cam on. To do that though, we need to make sure some of your settings are good. So go over to your camera settings. Make sure that your camera settings are set to something close to this. You can check some of the pros. You just don't want the defaults. Do whatever's comfortable to you, but they should be somewhat close to this. Angle can be somewhere between 3 and 5, but distance, heights, all those can be off. It's just you want it to be close. The defaults they give you make you look like down at your car, and when you're trying to go up for a ball, it gets too difficult. The other thing you want to do is go to your bindings. If you don't have these two set already, you're going to want to set these two to L1, and then you're going to need to go down to your scoreboard. You're going to need to take this off, save, replay, hold. just take that off. Change your reset shot to square, and you're gonna need to change your scoreboard. I put it on share. You can put it on square as well if you want, but that's all just preference. But the important thing is that air roll and power slide are on L1. And for those of you who are working on your half flips, air roll left should be on R1 just to make it easier for yourselves. I'm not going to get into half flips in this because that's like diamond champs. I didn't start working on it till I was champ, so if you want to know how to half flip, there's tons of videos, but that's what you need in order to do it. But now that you have that air roll set, then what you can do is, as you're turning around the ball, now you can turn your car around with the ball instead of doing this where you're kind of out of control, right? So to start off, you should go around the ball with the air roll, just keeping your ball turned towards it, and then try and slowly get faster as you go, right, until you're almost holding the boost down. Try not to land, but yeah, you just want to kind of speed up a little bit, and because if you're going for a ball, you're not going to be going slow, right? You're going to be booking it trying to get to the ball. So once you're comfortable doing that, then think of it like the car is moving in 4 directions. You're going to keep your car facing this way and go around the ball. So my tire should always be facing towards orange. And lean back, and let's slow down by leaning forwards, and turn to the right, lean forwards, lean back to slow down, lean left, turn back right to slow down, lean back, lean forwards to slow down, lean left. Alright, you get it? So you're basically teaching yourself, like, if the ball was shot at me, I would need to be able to go back and save it like this. Okay? That's what that practice is for, is getting your car control solid. After you get comfortable with that, or, you know, you don't have to have the 4 directions solid, but what you can do is start taking your ball cam off and just flying through the map, getting better car control, because this is going to be essentially like your rings map, right? So, you know, you can start off slow at first, go through, try to keep yourself at like an equal height as you're going through, or, you know, you can play with it, go low, and then try and go high, like you're going for a shot, and then go back low again, and then try and go high, but try not to touch the ground, just kind of get used to the car control. And then as you get better with that, just hold the boost down and force yourself into uncomfortable positions where you have to lean back to slow down, lean forward, you have to go horizontal, and you know, you're gonna crash a few times, but by holding that boost down, you're teaching yourself how the car works, how the momentum of the boost affects the car's already momentum, right? How it's already moving. So you're gonna have to learn how to lean back towards the camera, you know, lean to the side, curve around, and by holding down the boost, it's forcing you to make adjustments you normally wouldn't be comfortable making, as opposed to just doing this the whole time, right? So once you're comfortable with that, then what you do is the same 4 directions, but you're gonna do that through the entire map, right? So I'm gonna go through this, and now I'm gonna lean to the right, and now I'm gonna lean back, and now I'm gonna lean to the left a little, lean forward to slow down, lean right, lean left, lean back and left, lean forward to slow down, lean left, lean right and forward. So I'm talking through this so that you guys can kind of understand what I am doing in this. You know, I have to lean forward to slow down, I have to lean right to go around the pillar. So this forces you to be able to control your car in unpredictable ways, right? And then, you know, you can air roll to stay in this, you know, this orientation right here. But once you do that, then no, don't touch the air roll. So whatever happens to your car, like if it accidentally gets turned 45 degrees like this, now you have to go through the map at a 45-degree angle until it turns back, you know? So just don't touch the air roll, let whatever happens, and, you know, go through the map and force your car to, you know, just make the changes on its own, and you have to adapt. So, and then you can hold the boost while doing it. There is another step. I can't do it though. It's freestyling the whole time, and so you just go through and freestyle the entire time. I have to work on that. I cannot freestyle, so I haven't put any time into it. But like that, I think this was, what did he say? This was Squishies or one of the other guys. Who the fuck? Musty, he said. He said this was a drill from Musty, Papa B did, and I think that is where I heard it from, and then he showed it to me last night. So this is going to be your go-to map, and then I recommend for those of you who don't have a workshop, you can use this as kind of like your dribble map and try and get it around the map as quick as you can. Obviously, you want to try and stay close to the inside, so, you know, try and stay close to the inside. Think of this as like trying to juke someone, and, you know, try and speed it up as you get more comfortable. So, you know, as you get more comfortable, you know, try and speed it up, make it unpredictable. You know, just kind of take your time and use the pillars to your advantage, right? So maybe you're pretending to go for a shot and then you cut in and try and go around them. So this is just teaching you some basics to, like I said, all you need to be able to do is get to a boost pad and then be able to challenge for your shot. The other drill that even those of you who don't have, or even those of you on PC, you can do is called the slalom. And basically you start on the outside of this boost pad and you go in and you use the boost as your gates like a skier would, and you go in and out, and so you're just zigzagging, right? So you can air roll as you need to, you know, just go around the boost, try not to land like that, but this is going to teach you how to move left and right using your boost whenever you're trying to go for a pass or a ball. This will get you some more air control. So once you go through this forwards, right, then what you can do is go through it backwards. Same thing with the figure 8 map, right? So there is another step you could do, which is upside down. And so you're just going to jump, roll upside down, you know, get control. And then you're just going to go backwards through the map. And you're going to go zig and zag. And you're going to have to air roll, try not to touch the wall. And, you know, go through the map practicing that. And that's going to be able to help you whenever you're like going off the wall and you're just kind of flailing. Then by practicing it on upside down and regular, you'll have a little bit more air control on, you know, recoveries and taking your shots. The other way is you can still do the 4 directions. So you'll go, you know, down this way and left, right, and this helped me out a lot with my being in like bad positions. So now you gotta go sideways, right? So now this one I should be going backwards, right? but it's the same 4 directions that you went around the ball with earlier. You know, left, forwards, left, back, right. It's just going to be now you're going a zigzag through those gates. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part. Free play, training packs, you can always, coming in here and then trying to practice getting a follow-up. So if I go and get a touch here, immediately trying to get a follow-up touch. And then trying to get a follow-up touch, Just trying to get as many touches on it as possible to get over or past someone. The difference between games and training packs are training packs are 100% you, right? A game is only 1/6 of you. So for 5 minutes of that game, you're only going to be touching the ball for, maybe, if you're lucky, 20% of the time. So out of a 5-minute game, you're only making contact and actually even challenging the ball for less than a minute. But when you're in a training pack or in training in general, all 5 minutes of that time is going into getting better. So I was kind of the person who would always do ranked and just, crawl up and down the ranks, because I just jumped on, played rank. But if you just do like 20 minutes of training before you go into a game, then you're already like 30 games ahead of the other people playing, right? Because if you only get like 30 seconds of actual contact and challenges in a game, but you just practiced for 20 minutes, that's 40 games worth of practice that you already have ahead of these guys who've just been doing ranked for 5 games. So highly recommend training, highly recommend the hoops, the rings maps. Just, if you have any questions, message me. If you want to learn air dribble, stuff like that, you can look online. I can watch, some of your guys' stuff during like a 1v1 or something, but you don't really need any special mechanics until like Champ or Diamond 3. I still have trouble with air dribbles. I don't focus on them because that's not what helped me get to Champ. Just putting balls on net, smart rotation, which we're going to go over in a minute with replays, that's what gets you out of rank. So, pretty sure that covers my normal spiel, but if anyone has any questions, you're welcome to message. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think anybody. You have any questions? You can message me, like I said, or hit me up on my Discord, which you can get by my panels page. If this is after the fact, my Discord is there on the panels, but make sure that you go to select your rank channel and pick your rank. Otherwise, you will the servers. The channels are locked until you selected your rank. Once you selected your rank, then you have access to all the channels and posting and stuff. But if you're struggling to figure out why you can't join or do anything, that's why. And then if you go to our extras group, then there is 6-mans, which is basically just any group of 6 people just start playing, whether they're GC or bronze. They continue to play, with automatically assigned teams. So the GC could be on your team with a bronze, or the bronze could be against the GC in a 3v3. So you get to learn rotations, because no one is there to troll. No one is there to, just, no one's there having a bad day just trying to take it out on anyone, right? So it's just you know, people hanging out, playing the game, and trying to get better. Maybe that diamond player is trying to do some wall dribbles, or that GC is trying to do like a flip reset. You know, no one is taking it seriously. It's a learning experience. Um, so that is what the six man is. King of the Hill is just a game mode that I think I got it from Oh My Favorite TV. Um, it is elimination 4v4. So the game starts off with 4 people on each team, and then it whittles down to the 1v1. Everyone else goes to spectate, and then whoever loses that is eliminated from the game. And then it goes on to round 2, which is a 4v3 with 1 elimination. Then that whittles down to the 1v1. That person is eliminated, pushed to the spectate, and then it's a 3v3. And that continues until the final 1v1, and then everyone's back in. So it kind of teaches you to make shots count, because no one is passing, no one is, you know, it's a everyone's on their own type of game, because your teammates don't want you to get the goal and be safe. So it kind of forces you to learn how to make shots out of whatever you're given. The next one is training. If you the 2 characters. If you want to get notified of training like this, or like replays and stuff like that, I do like @training, and it'll just ping whoever is in that group. So if you want to get those notifications, then definitely join that. Then the last one is Smurfs, and so that is for people who have Smurf accounts. It's not to carry other people. Like a bronze shouldn't be at Smurf lifing people, right? So that is for people who want to get together with other Smurfs and throw games, so that they don't ruin other people's games. I have a Smurf myself, and yeah, it sucks. It's not a fun thing to throw games, and you know, even when you have other people, it's just a grind. So definitely, if you have a Smurf, you can kind of @Smurf Life and then find other people who are trying to do the same thing. Alright, let's get Metal in here and start going through some replays. Hey, you
How
ready?
can I do?
You ready, Metal?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you. I almost started dragging you away. Alright.
All good.
Alright. Alright, let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and... I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Oh, I actually didn't. Son of a bitch. So the only other thing I would say is quick aerial. So I did not cover that. Give me like 5 seconds. So you can look online and learn quick aerial. I'll do a quick demonstration. Basically, if I am playing like a bronze, as I usually do, then what you're gonna do is just a single jump and then boost. And if I go up to the ceiling, it takes me a good 60 boost to get up to the ceiling with a single jump. If you do a double jump, which is like plat-ish, I would say, they maybe high golds do like double jumps. If you do double jumps and then boost up, then I hit it way harder than I needed to. Let me do that again. It saves you about 10 boost if you do a double jump. So if I do a double jump and then boost straight up, you know, it saved me about 10 boost. I used a little extra there, but what a quick aerial is basically, if you look at my joystick, I'm pulling back for the very first jump and then doing another double jump. Excuse me, another double jump. And what that does is the moment I start boosting, if I just do a double jump, then what happens is the moment I pause right here, I already started to fall before I start my boost, right? Because I'm double jumping and leaning back, and by the time I'm leaning back, I'm already starting to fall, right? But if I do this lean back motion in the first jump, then I can start boosting and I don't get that falling time added to my aerial. So if you find yourself getting stomped, like people jumping up and spiking the ball on you whenever you jumped first, or maybe they're just beating you to the ball, this could be why. Because if you lean back and jump, then you get up a lot quicker with a lot less boost. You can, if you do it perfectly, Papa B said you should have like 64 boost or 60 some left over. But if you do it well, you should have 50. Like, I should be touching the ceiling, I'm just hesitating on touching it. I also have a new controller, and I'm trying to... Okay, so yeah, I can usually get there with 50, but I hit it really hard, so I used more boost than I needed. But basically what you're doing is you're saving boost, and that makes you cause less mistakes. I don't have to go and get that big boost pad because I saved 20 boost compared to doing a single jump, right? So let's say I just went flying and took my shot, and now I'm out here in the middle of nowhere with no boost. If I had done a quick aerial, I would still have that 20 extra boost, and I could easily just grab these pads and get back to full boost really quickly. But instead, what's going to happen is people are going to go for their shot, they're going to land here in the middle of nowhere, and either make it a 3v2 by getting this boost, making it a 3v2 by going out and getting this boost on a detour, and trying to get back in time to help their teammates. So, really, if you do the quick aerial, you're getting up quicker, you're saving boost, and then you don't have to rely on the big boost pads as much, because I can just grab a few pads and be ready for anything. So, anything to add, or fair?
Fair.
Okay. So, Metal Division is joining me for this replay. He is far better than me. And he is what, champ 2, champ 3-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, he is helping me work on some stuff along with Papa B and a few other people. So I'm just trying to pass on the help they've given me. But I don't think anyone messaged any to me. I think I just did a few games with some people, and I was able to get some from them that way. So we have like 2, and then we can use one of mine. But let me see. 7-7. What was that? I think this is one that me and you did, and you told me to save it. So we'll start off with some self-deprivation. Let me get my Discord out of the way real quick, and so
Yeah, we're reviewing right now.
yeah. So let's watch. I think this is whenever I was messaging you about Discord. Something happened and you got disconnected, so that's why there was the hesitation in the kickoff, but you got there. So yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, we actually went over this. Right here. No, wait. So right here, I thought I was closer to the ball. So I was trying to, again, I literally just got my new controller in this game. So I was trying to flip this over Greg, but I just was not as close to the ball as I thought. So, yeah, Phil, yeah, we're reviewing, man. And then I ended up missing, and so Incognito didn't know I was trying to go for that. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of good plays that could have came out of that. So, Incognito is up, and Patience pushes up. I stay back. I try and get back quick and see Incognito's there. So we talked about this too, right here. I pushed up a little far, but once I was here, I saw Incognito come flying for this ball. I put on the brakes thinking that he was going to hit it across, but he ended up not getting a hit on it. So I hesitated going into goal because of that reason, but if that wasn't the case, I should have definitely gone into goal and been ready for this, but I hesitated because of that challenge. Let me get out of here. Go back out. Yeah, and then I got rewarded with a lucky goal, so. Whoops. Do you just want to do like the goals, or do you want to do the whole game?
Might as well just do the whole game.
Okay. So there I challenged giving Incognito time to rotate back. Patience challenge. I rotated back because I saw Incognito go. So yeah, we had pretty good.
Do you want to point out the misplay that I told you? From when you were looking to challenge from the net earlier.
When I was looking to challenge from the net earlier.
Yeah, like before that play developed.
Where before this?
Yeah. When it was me and Incognito by the wall, and you were in net.
I think
yeah, right here.
Yeah. You're saying I should have been.
You should have stayed right there.
I should have stayed right here.
Inside of the net.
Yeah, I should have stayed there instead of. Yeah, I came out and then. Yeah, okay, so I remember now. So, Patience went for the ball right there, and I rotated into net, and I should have stayed here instead of. Once I saw that ball get shot across the field, I went challenging it, even though he was still on the ball. So I kind of cut him off there, and he should have had possession of that.
You're also just giving yourself a bad position to make a save.
Yeah, I'm hanging a little too close to midline, or.
All fine.
Hmm?
I said that's all fine, right there. You should have been there earlier.
Been where here?
Oh, it's a little bit of delay. Yeah.
Oh, I can stream. What am I doing? Let me stream the Discord so you can see what the hell's going on. Oh my god. It's like I've never done this before. There you go. Now you have a better. I mean, it's gonna take a minute to get unpixelated, but it'll be
That's fine.
A more live feed. I probably shouldn't have waited for this right here. Like, I literally just waited there. I could have let Incognito rotate and get a better line on that, but he was probably looking at me and not rotating, so. Yeah. We talked about this too, this right here, where I challenged here, but once it went up the wall, I should have turned right instead of turning left here, because now I am. I could have easily bumped Incognito here, if he wasn't up.
Enemy.
And then I just jump over Patient's head. And so if I had just turned right whenever we were up here, I could have just gotten some boost pads and rotated back to net and been out of everyone's way. Champ 1. Patience and I were playing together. Incognito was a random, so it wasn't too bad for what it was. It's just I've been doing a lot of training recently, so trying to get back into playing ranked. Yeah, so that's a good save. He pushed it to the corner, and there was no one there. So that gives us time and possession.
I was lagging here, so I was just sitting in that.
Yeah, this is the game where you were lagging out.
Pretty normal stuff.
Pretty solid rotation. I mean, there's always someone in contact with the ball, always someone on defense, and always someone on the way back. Like Incognito, I don't know what he's doing there. It looks like he's waiting for boost and I don't know, a shot. I'm not sure, but
Oh, he was expecting a pass, but I banged it over his head.
gotcha. But yeah, it's, you know, Incognito is rotating in, so I should have rotated out there. We talked about that. But yeah, that was just a bad challenge on my part. Good, so Incognito's gonna follow that up. I'm rotating back. Patience is going to second man. I see that I almost cut him off, so I stopped. And yeah, that was just a good clear. Oh man, that could have been a goal easy. Double commit there. That was my fault. I should have been rotating back already. What rank are you, Phil, if you're still in here? Ooh, yeah, that was just where you lagged and bad touch.
Yeah.
How is this game only 4 minutes and 17 seconds long?
We forfeited, I think. Oh, no.
No, we didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was user error, Zed. I'm gonna go ahead and just say user error. Alright, so that was our replay, which new controller, I'm gonna just blame that. I have at least another day. No, he says. I don't know, some of these are... I had it saving rank, so I think some of these might have been... I know. So I have a replay from when I played with Pat and Shork. Again, this is like 3 minutes and 52 seconds, but it's a 5-minute game. We didn't... No one forfeited it. I don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Strange.
So, yeah.
Okay, you're red.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after kickoff,
You shouldn't be turning there. You should just be going
yeah, I
for
should
pad.
rotate. Yeah, I was thinking about challenging, and then I realized Pat was probably in goal, so I rotated back, giving him a better line because he had a better touch. And then Shork and I just bumped. This is plat, I believe. Me and Shork are plat, and Pat is gold. So yeah, Pat should have been doing something there. So he rotated over, got a pad. He missed the big boost pad, and sat there. Would you have said that Shork should have stayed in, or Pat should have pushed that? Like, was that Shork's ball or Pat's ball?
Those sharks.
Because he was in that
There's
waiting.
no reason. There's no reason for Pat to take that because he's going the opposite way.
Yeah, he has dead momentum. Shork has forward momentum, and yeah.
Somehow it works out. And it's a goal.
Yeah.
That's plat for you.
I'm pretty sure these are the guys who were double committing pretty hard. Like, yeah, like they're all in deep. Like this is a big mistake that a lot of lower ranks make is right here. This Ula guy is still trying to challenge across the field, and then this Jeg guy is coming up thinking it's his ball, and they both are in deep. Right? And
I think
Ula,
he's fine as long as Ulo knows that it isn't his ball.
yeah, and then he rotates back, realizing that, you know, there's no one really defending, but yeah, that could have been really bad if we got a touch.
Yeah.
So G-Paul's rotating back, I'm going for the challenge. G-Paul gets stuck in net a little bit.
That was Shark's ball, actually. Yeah, that was Shark's ball. He just rotated slow.
What's the difference between this and the earlier thing that Pat was over by the boost?
It's just the reasoning behind coming out of net here. There's a person challenging, so you need somebody in net. Shark's not going to be able to get there, so he has to be the one to challenge.
Okay, so because it's not as far in the corner, Pat should stay in net, and Shork, who already is rotating that way, should have kept on it.
For the simple reason that somebody's already on their way to the ball should be the reason that Pat should be staying in net, since Shork is already in the corner.
Yeah, because someone I'm not gonna be able to get there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. I was just curious because I figured that might have been a question he would have asked if he was in here. So right here, Pat is. You need to give him space. Like, I don't know why you're on his ass, but literally right here, Shork is still on the ball. You jumped out of net, maybe you didn't see him, but right here you should just stay there, or pushed mid. You know, you know, pushing out here.
I think staying behind him.
Oh,
is fine.
I did talk to him about that actually. He said that in cases of 50s and stuff, some people say that you should stay behind, but
it is a good idea.
Not
to
that
stay
close
behind
though.
Yeah. You should basically just be trailing him, not that close. So
yeah, you
should be in that.
Like what, a quarter of a field or an eighth of a field of distance? Like what do you?
Like it depends. You really just have to read the situation. If the person that has the control over the ball is staying in front of the ball, then you can trail pretty closely because you know that it's pretty reliable that it's not going to go behind you. Maybe
Okay.
above you, but not behind you.
But yeah, but this trying to steal the ball or get a hit off, you're basic. Now you're in deep because you didn't trust shortcat the ball, and you know
Yeah,
I was luckily there to get that touch, but uh
you were still
yeah
too far up.
yeah. Now it was a 2v3 there for a little bit while you had to recover. So Shork went up for a pre-jump pass, and I was not expecting that out of a plat. So uh yeah
It's a bad
I
pre-jump too.
yeah he has a habit of going really fast forward into shots, which is again the problem because right here, if you just slowed down before you jumped, you could have made this shot, but you wouldn't, even if the ball came out to here, you would not have hit that ball. Because
If he actually pre-jumped from mid, he would have had a good shot at hitting pretty much anything.
yeah, so if you're gonna go that fast, you need to jump farther away, or you need to slow down and
Yeah.
give yourself time to climb, because the faster you go, if you weren't going that fast, you could have been here and still climbing your way up, and this is exactly the spot you would have been at, you know?
It also makes you harder to pass too.
Yeah, yeah, by going fast, you're not able to speed up or slow down. You're already committed. So, yeah, definitely just slow down a little bit and you'll have a lot more chances. Because, yeah, if you had just slowed down and like turned a little bit before your jump, you could have easily been here. So, that's all. I mean, it was a hard shot no matter what for a plat, definitely, but to increase your chances in the future, that's what you need to look into.
It's actually good positioning.
Yeah, so I went to steal boost. Not great play, but
I would have went up for that if I were you.
you would have what?
I would have went up for that ball.
For
As
that?
you. Yeah.
You would have gone up
After,
for that?
yeah, I would have went up for that.
What would you have done?
Either try to bump him or just try to get it off the
Oh.
ceiling.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe not in plat, maybe that's a
Yeah,
little bit too
yeah.
advanced, but
Yeah. Yeah, I
still,
wasn't about to get sweaty. I was, you know, if we lost, I was actually hoping we would lose because then I would derank my Smurf, but I also didn't want these guys to struggle, so I was just trying
fair.
to I was trying to match but carry a little at the same time, but also not sweaty. I think we actually did lose a game, but yeah, so here
That's being a little bit too aggressive.
a lot of people here, like if they were in my position, they'd probably just touch the ball for the sake of touching it. Um, I knew that there was probably someone behind me and they had a better shot, and instead of my momentum going towards the wall, then he would have his momentum carried this way. So I just trusted that he was going to be there and left it.
It also just sets you up better as well if you fake that.
Yeah.
Even if he's not there, you have a better
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
keeping
Like
around.
a lot of times, just being near the ball will cause the enemy to not challenge you on it, and you can get it back to someone with a better shot than you. So you don't have to touch the ball for the sake of touching it. Sometimes just letting it continue to roll and staying near it is enough to get your teammates a good shot.
I don't like that challenge.
What's up?
I don't like that challenge from Shark.
This right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't even
So
be there.
Yeah, so the ball's at like 1/8 field. Unless Shork is guaranteed, he should be back here at like 5/8. Um,
Um, I just think he's in the wrong position. He sees two people up. He's too close to the play, especially if he's not got a good read on the ball, which he doesn't. So
yeah. Yeah, that's just a bad timing, I think.
I think he actually hits that.
Yeah, it has an orange trail on it.
Yeah.
But they bump him into it, and it goes down towards our field, so. Pat's in a good position.
Shark should have been left there.
Yeah. So here.
He just needs to see his teammates and spread out a little bit.
So here, Pat should have turned right and rotated back and let Short get that.
Pat's too close to the play as well. And he realizes that, and then he chases the ball instead.
Can you clarify a little bit? So here,
So, just by his car's positioning, you see him turn to the left because he sees that it's got some momentum going that way. And it looks like he's going to turn around, but he chases the ball anyways. It's not really his ball to go for.
yeah. So Pat, because the ball is coming back so fast, the only shot you're gonna have is plowing it into the wall and giving them a setup, basically. Shork had a better line on that because his shot from. So I got this down there. Now from here, you see, I go up and you see that rolling back towards the wall. You're not gonna make it and be able to hit the ball towards the goal, right? There's no real chance you have because it's not gonna get close enough to the wall.
There's also just nobody to set up right now. There's nobody
Yeah,
that
because
can get into a position to shoot.
yeah, so you're thinking he should have rotated back and just hung out here in like mid.
He should have been where Shark was by now.
Okay, yeah, cause so
What
I get
Shark should have done was been on the left side of the field,
yeah, so
ready to make the challenge.
So Shork was back here, and
Yeah.
once he sees this go up, he should have, seen Pat over on the right. He should have challenged down this way, maybe gone on the wall or something, and
Yeah.
Pat should have rotated back to the back position
Yeah.
because Shork has a better line of shot on the net than Pat, who is here.
He could also pass it mid.
Yeah, and Pat is in a better position to be passed to, but if he goes to the wall and now we have me and him stuck on the wall, now it's just a 3v1. Because right here, this is, I'm on the way back, but if they get a big clear over me, it's a 3v1.
Unfortunately, Shark hesitates a little bit moving forward.
Yeah, well, he's silver bumped to plat recently, so
Yeah.
he's a little fresh too.
He would have been right there, challenging the ball instead of at
Yeah.
midfield. Honestly, the difference between Diamond and Platts usually is just consistency in defense and setting up more advantageous opportunities.
Yeah, aerial control too. Like the shots on aerials, like the intention coming through, like sure, Plats can go up and touch the ball, but Diamonds are a little more consistent in whether that's going on net or, is it a pass, it's just a little more consistent, like maybe like 10% better. Like a Plat maybe 60% of the time they touch the ball, what they wanted happens, as opposed to a Diamond where maybe like 70 or something like that, just off the top, But yeah, just consistency and, like you said, just the team play aspect of it.
Fortunate.
Yeah, I saw Pat rotating, so this is risky because we're going 3 men deep, but I saw that guy up and I saw these two challenging. I figured it wasn't gonna go in. I didn't realize that this is what was gonna happen. I thought Gels was gonna get it.
I
So
actually don't know whose ball this is.
So
This
right
is a
here,
weird one.
right here, I thought Gels was gonna get this from back here, but yeah, they both go for it, which is risky in itself. But I also didn't expect to get that. But I saw where Pat landed, so
Yeah.
I knew that he was gonna get back in time for me to challenge this. And the touch that I got, even if it wasn't in, even if it hit off someone, it was gonna go to where Pat was. So he would be able to get another touch and buy us some time to rotate back. So just be careful about going like 3 men deep. Like, you should never have 3 people in like the last eighth of the other team's field. But
At least at this rank.
at least, yeah, at this rank. And yeah, just be careful of what your positions.
Basically, just be mindful of what your opponents can do.
Yeah.
Shark's a little bit too far back. You shouldn't
Yeah.
be going for that boost.
That's a good catch. I was watching the other. But yeah, just pick up some pads. There's all the pads, or you could just go through here
Should
and
actually
pick up.
be mid here.
Yeah, there's mid boost too. But
No, I mean you should be going to the pads in mid.
yeah,
It's a good spot for him to be.
Pat should be, trying to.
Should be looking for the mid boost.
Yeah. So right here, Shore should be like at the half line because
You should actually be ready to challenge this ball by now. You should be ready to have a shot.
Pat's challenging though.
Like if his timing for going for the mid pads was good enough, then he would have been ready to have a shot here.
You're saying he would have taken Pat's place if you.
Yeah. Yeah. He by the time this hit goes off, he should be on the right middle boost, where the straight in front of you,
Straight in front of me. Here.
One just up to the right a little bit.
This one.
Other one. With the like wood thing.
I'm talking about this one.
No.
Oh, the wood.
That one. Yeah. Right there.
Okay.
You could have gone for the 2 center boosts and then rotated over to that one. You would have had a good shot in it.
You're still talking about Shork? You're still talking about Shork, not Pat.
Yeah, still talking about Shark.
So, did Pat challenge when he shouldn't have, or what happened?
Shark rotated out. He went to the back boost.
So here, Pat got boost, and then he challenged when Shork was still on it, so he should have hung back?
I think it's fine.
Okay, but then here, Shork is boostless on the wall, and Pat gets a bad touch, so you're saying Pat should rotate back and Shork should have grabbed these two here and rotated up?
Yeah, Pat should have been rotating back. And if not, then that's fine too. But Either way, he shouldn't be where he is.
Yeah, he kind of gets the hit and then is kind of dead there for a bit. But yeah, so Shork rotates all the way back. But yeah, you should not rotate too far back because now you're out of the equation. It's basically a 2v3. But if you're up in this position or farther, you know, third man should be here. Like the last person on defense should be here. Second man should be somewhere up in the sides, and the first man should be challenging the ball. So right here, you know, I challenged. I thought maybe I could get a better touch for someone, and Pat was already there. Shork, seeing me come back, he instead of rotating back, he could have turned and challenged, right?
No.
Okay, so this is
There's
fine.
no reason for him to challenge here.
Okay.
There's just too many people in the way. Let me see that again.
Yeah. So, Pat's just too far out of net, right?
I want to see that again. I want to see that whole challenge.
So, I see the ball go across, and Shork is...
You should be looking to go to the wall here.
I should be out here.
You should just be following the ball, looking to either roll it to the wall or get hit onto their side.
Yeah. But then Pat comes out to challenge, and Jeg gets a hit on it. And then Pat freezes up there for a minute. Yeah, I pushed up a little farther. Let me see that. So Short gets on the wall. He missed, and then I saw him on the way back, and yeah, I was really far up there. But I was just waiting on a pass of some sorts.
Touch.
What are you laughing at? I get punted.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I was just trying to buy time at that point.
Yeah, Pat just gets caught too close to the play again.
Yeah.
In like 3 different times.
I actually do have another one. I have a game with model. How much time? We got some time. Okay. I got a game with model. I think. Let me see. I'm not. This is a while. Yeah, this is model division. I think these might be silvers. I'm on my bronze account though, I believe.
This is already more than I expect from silver. Surprised silvers even know how to jump off a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, so there he definitely should have let me have that. Like, at silver, it's not really established rule, but it, yeah. The established rule that no one really listens to until diamond is the forwardmost person in the left position goes first on kickoff. It's just that way no one complains about not getting a kickoff, and it's just luck of the draw. Yeah, that was a good shot for silver for sure. I mean, you could. This is what I mean by like the differences in rank. Sure, these guys can get up and they can touch the ball. Like this guy right here, he can get up and he can touch the ball, but he didn't do it. His intentions didn't come through. Like obviously, I don't think he meant to pass it to the corner boost. It's just his accuracy and his intentions, like getting them to come out of his shots, or need some work. But yeah. You're laughing at the circles around the ball. Dude, I remember being silver.
Me too.
Back then though, it wasn't silver. It was like striker or some shit like we were talking about earlier. Like I remember playing when like All Star was the high rank and shit. But yeah, I remember doing donuts around the ball trying to hit it.
Full-time goalie. Nice.
What's he chasing? Yeah, that. I mean, I think it was no, it wasn't really a save. It would have been fine where it was going, but getting that touch almost threw me off and could have caused, yeah, a good shot for them. Don't touch the ball if your partner's back, because right here, yeah, I could have easily had that. Like, there's no reason for you to touch that any further. But then you do that, and if I had already committed to that, I would have been out of the play. You're out of the play, and now it's just, we're lucky that that guy is not ready for the shot.
You want us to play full-time goalie?
Who? Elf?
Been a while. Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah, so this is not great. So right here, there's no reason for you to be challenging this ball. You should be hanging back. You should be back here. Because if this elf guy beats me to the ball, then now it's over both of us and it's a goal. No doubt. So you definitely should have been hanging back here in case the ball comes this way, you can save. But now, if they get a touch, there's nothing we can do. Even if it's a light touch, it's rolling all the way to net. And again, you're still challenging. There's no reason for you to be there. I'm still contesting the ball. Yeah, you should have, even after this first touch here, I contested the ball. You should have turned and rotated back. For me to, you're rotating for a pass. That's great. But then there's no reason for you to do that.
I think you're the one that's actually out of position here.
Probably.
But what
it's hard to say.
We kind of have to be aware of at certain ranks is what your teammates are capable of, and in probably.
Yeah, I didn't think he was capable of shooting from here, so I was trying to pass it.
well, this is what I'm saying. At anywhere between bronze and gold, you should really only expect your teammates to make one touch on the ball. Not really be able to follow it ever. Yeah, so I think that's what Model is doing here, is not really expecting you to be able to go for the ball again. Be able to read where it's going.
That's fair. But yeah, just realize that it's not always a one-touch rotation. I mean, more than likely, in the lower ranks it is, but yeah, like if I get a good touch there, there's no reason why I should rotate back and let you get this next touch because you're not in position for it. So, it's all about who has better momentum and better line of shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a bad one. I saw this been a while guy coming and I tried to pop it over, but he didn't actually jump, he just went up the wall.
You actually turned too early, but it works, I guess. You're cheating too far out of the net.
Who? Me?
Modeled.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, right here.
If you ever see a touch that goes directly into midfield in front of your net, you should be looking to stay as close to the net as possible.
Yeah, right here. You don't know who is ready for that pass. So at any point it could be shot on net. So you should be rotating into net and sitting like right here. And just getting ready for the shot. But because you're out there, all they need to do is pop it either over you or they can just drop it behind you. You know, if this guy just got a touch and dropped it behind you, you're not stopping that momentum.
Even if Elf just did touch that ball, Benoit just had a shot on net, and you wouldn't be able to save it.
Yeah. Yeah, now that's where you should have been earlier, because now you'll have a good clear. But yeah, see, I get in net. If it's in the half, if it's in our half, and I think, if the ball's in our half and we don't have possession, then I don't leave the net. But because I see you have possession, and I really don't think this elf guy was going to challenge you, I pushed out. But the moment you got challenged by Ben, I waited to see what happened, and then I pushed forward some more. And then, I waited to see what happened, and then I went for a pass. Yeah, I wasn't close enough for that is all.
Pretty lucky.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna message son of a I'm gonna message I don't know if he's on or not. I think I'm gonna message Yeet, see if he I didn't see what happened.
I just got a lucky challenge and a pinch into the net.
Yeah, so this right here, this guy right here, he should not I mean, he was trying for a good challenge, but
Yeah.
hitting the ball into the wall like this is always a bad thing. Like, unless you're deep in the enemy's territory, this is always a bad thing on your side.
I don't think he meant to do that, but
Yeah, I think he was trying to push it out this way, but a lot of times people will like do a forward flip and knock it into the wall, and you're basically just setting up the other team to do exactly what I'm doing here and just drive it into the net.
Yeah.
So, pushing the ball to your wall is almost always a bad idea. Unless you're confident in your wall play.
He should have just taken a slower approach to the ball.
Yeah, there wasn't any need for me to boom this, but I'm also playing silver, so I wasn't about to. All right, so here, this is. So right here, it's at the halfway line. You're cheating up, and then you see he gets this touch here, and you turn right. You should not have turned right because now the only momentum you have is putting that ball either into the wall, like I just said, which is a bad idea because it's just going to center up for the other team, or,
Um, I think with this kind of bounce, it's fine because you can't really put it mid, but you're just turning right here. You're just setting yourself up for a bad read.
yeah, I mean this.
It's just it's moving away from the wall, so it's kind of just hard to read.
Yeah, but his position right here, the only thing he can do is either stop it or put it up a wall. Either it's going to be the backboard wall or this wall. Like, he's not going to be catching and dribbling at Silver, and he's not. What he should have done is back here.
Well, that's why I say this is actually a decent play. But it's just the way he turns for this ball.
Yeah.
It just sets him up for a bad read. If he had been turning left and going to this ball,
Right.
and he set it up to the wall, then I think Silver's less inclined to challenge somebody on the wall.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been better that way.
So right here, what Model should have done is instead of, he has ball cam on, so he's looking like this. He should have, rotated back to net and gotten some pads, and now I have a really good shot from here.
Yeah.
I can easily boom this out, or I could wait until here and I could boom this out this way. Obviously, this guy's challenging really quickly, so I wouldn't do that. But if this guy wasn't here, and let's say Elf is the only guy challenging the ball, then I have a very easy boom out to their net or, down their line, as opposed to, the way that it played out. You turned right here, and now your only momentum is going with the ball. And the only thing you can do is either push it up the wall or, just like, even if you did hit it by going like this, it's either going to roll up and then roll back down, or it's going to bounce off the wall and get centered for Elf. So if you had rotated in here, now you can push this out. This guy's out of position. Elf would have rotated back, but
Yeah.
it's just it's not, it's not that
Not ideal.
It's just there could have been a better play. It's not that,
Yeah.
In the panic situation of the game, we totally get it. But, the better play would have been to rotate the other way back into net as well. Alright, so right here, let's explain what's... So, I challenge this. Model is pushing back. I get a bad 50, so I decide what I'm going to do. From this position, do I have any advantageous things that I can do? There's not a whole lot, I could hit it back up the wall. I could try to, maybe get behind it and push it, but I'm not going to have any momentum with me. But I know
You
that...
also don't know if there's anybody behind you.
Yeah, I don't know. That guy's right there. He could beat me to the ball for all I know. But
Yeah.
what I do know is that Model is probably rotating back into net. And him having this straight line across the back, he's going to have a far better chance of booming that out than I am from this position. So I consider it, and then I just get pads. On my way back to net, I am just going down the pad path. Even though I don't need them, I'm just rotating around out of his way so that he can get this shot and clear it out. Obviously, he didn't hit it, but that was a good challenge. Like, that was a good rotation. That was a good challenge. So, yeah. So here, Model, you could cheat up a little bit. Like, this is past the halfway.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you're fine where you're, but
Yeah.
he should be moving up, waiting for. Well, I guess it's twos. Yeah, if it's twos, I guess he could, hanging back is always better.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, starting to challenge. Yeah, you're starting your challenge just a little late. Not bad, but it's, you know, luckily that elf backed off when he did, because right here, um, when I went up here and got boomed, you know, if elf had turned, he could have easily beaten you to the ball, but he must have turned his ball cam off or something, and you were able to challenge and beat him to it. But you could have easily gotten there sooner. But that was a good shot.
Any shot that goes in is a good shot.
For sure. I think I was messaging or something. I'm not really sure why I was AFK. I should have gone for that.
Don't go AFK, boys. Bad play.
So that was a strategic play there. That's the strategic AFK and then come back. I don't know.
Higher ranks that loses you MMR.
Dude, at Plat, so many people, like Plat and Diamond, so many people went AFK. It was ridiculous. Like every fifth game, someone was AFK. And I don't mean like the game ended. I mean like they got into the game and then the game ended. Look at how long this ball is just left alone.
Yeah.
I think he misses too. Oh my god. So yeah, hack. I mean, that was a bad play. So this was fine. This was good. You challenged the ball. You saw that he missed, and then you challenged it again. That's great. Right here, you got a touch. You went for a shot, and he beat you to it. And so here, who has the better line? The person lining it up back here. I probably should have been back even more, but I was waiting for an accidental touch, and I was going to challenge. But, who has the better line? Me coming in with momentum, or you here completely stopped, doing a drift turn, a 3-point turn, and then trying to challenge it again. There's no reason for that. You should have gotten a few pads, rotated back, and been ready for my touch. Because, yeah, you just didn't have a good line there. And then I saw you're still challenging it, so I backed off. I mean, I know there was only like 10 seconds left, but that's... Yeah, so just be aware of your partner's lines, their shots, and who has the better shot.
I think it's easier to say just be aware of what you can actually go for.
Yeah, be aware of like what you can do in your position and what you can't, because
yeah,
there's a lot more things your teammate can do than that you can't most of the time. Like that one position I was in that corner, there wasn't a whole lot I could have done, but if I rotated out and gave my partner the chance to go for it, then they had a lot more chances to do stuff. So
I got time for one more.
Yeah. I just don't know. I don't know if Yeats. They're July 2nd. I guess it's not that old. I don't know how I got these. I guess I played with him.
Must have gave them to you.
Oh.
Happy.
Yeah, me.
Just getting carried.
We lost. I'm pretty sure we lost. Yeah, Blue made more goals, so we weren't like obviously Papa B and I were not trying super hard, but this was just late one night, and we were trying to play with
drinks.
Yeah. So
I mean, I think I can explain in a pretty simple word. It's just ball chasing.
yeah, unfortunately, at Diamond you get into that habit because you can't rely on your teammates.
Um, uh, you're just not giving yourself opportunities that are worthwhile. You're just not getting the right angle on the ball. That's literally what it comes down to. You're in the position to take the shot, but you're just not getting the right angle. I've seen him do it so much in 6-mans. You're also just being too aggressive here. Good try on the pass. Again, you just need to stay in that.
Yeah, here I wasn't. I don't.
No, I meant you. You just need to stay in that.
Yeah, here I figured Yeet was in net, so I was ready for a backboard like bounce of
Yeah.
some like in case someone was going for a pass, I was ready to go and intercept it. But
Contest mid somewhere.
yeah, I wasn't 100% sure where Yeet was, but yeah, then he just got bumped to hell. I saw that pass. I tried to get it up 50'd.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an example of a bad clear that I was talking about earlier. Literally.
Luckily for you, it's strong enough, but
Yeah, but right here, like no matter what I do with, I was hoping to hit this angled wall and then bounce down the line, but I just missed the angle part of the wall and it gets centered for this Brotaku guy. And if he had been good, there was no one in net. Like this was an open net. If he got a strong enough hit, it would have been easy goal. And that's another bad touch. Oh man.
like I said, he's just ball chasing. He's not giving himself the right angle.
Like right there. There's no reason Yeet should have touched that.
What are you accomplishing going for this?
Yeah, right.
Even if your teammates aren't going for this, what are you gonna do with this ball?
Let me see if I can find him. Player view. Yeah, so right here, you see that I'm going for the ball, like right there. I am following the ball.
Okay. Even forget the general is here. What are you gonna do with this ball?
Yeah.
The first thing that I think of when I see you going for this ball is your own goalie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, maybe you could hit it off the. Maybe if you leaned back far enough, you could get it to the corner, but.
But what does that do?
There's no reason to even touch it because it's past the net. You know, if there was someone challenging, I would have been rushing it faster than I am because I can see past the ball, you know? Yeah, he's just not trusting.
If you just sat in the corner and, like I said, forget General's even there. Even if General's not there, if you just sat in the corner and waited for that ball to come to you, that's yours. If General wasn't there.
Yeah, so right here, I got a bad touch, yes, and this guy gets a bad touch, and so it's not going on net. Like you can see the dots on the field, like these little dashes. You know, it's not on net, and if it was, I would be rushing it far quicker than I was. But yeah, you faked me out. Now it's a 3v1 right now. Until I land.
Pop is confused, so he doesn't go for it.
Yeah.
It's also unfortunate. Jesus.
Yeah, so Papa gets a touch, bad 50. You know, I try and get a touch, I miss. they end up saving for us. And so I thought Yeet was challenging that, and so I backed up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Papa should have challenged that, but he saw Yeet and backed.
Oh boy.
If the ball's in our house.